So it wasn't like I would just go out anywhere. Like, I was incredibly picky. So I kind of hate myself right now. And at this age, I know that if I was happy and now I'm irritated by everything, the likelihood of me having just finished ovulating is pretty high. But I also have gotten to a point in my life where I feel like I recognize that I have, and I think we all do, a connection, a natural connection to what is going on outside of our homes in nature. I sometimes have a hard time waking up on a cloudy day before I even know that it's a cloudy day. I can leave my house and be quite comfortable in 45-degree weather, 36-degree weather. I'm fine. But when it gets down to those lower numbers, or like the teens specifically, I think they just make me mad. Like, I'm curious if there's an abrasiveness about the cold that is meant to make you mad, because that flow of anger makes your blood rush and your adrenaline start pumping, and it literally heats up your body. At least that's my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I wonder if that is actually some very, very natural response in my body to the extreme cold. And because I am so anti those emotions, the fact that I feel them makes me feel even worse and more extreme. And I have to fight mentally to calm myself down from this anxious, anger, anxiety type emotion. And I don't opt in for that. I choose no. I choose no. I choose no. I choose no. So there's a part of me that feels like I should just get in the car tomorrow and drive down to my mom's and stay there until it's warm. But I can't really do that. The other thing that makes me angry is that I have all this weight on me. I normally gain about 5 pounds in the winter, but when I put on 5 pounds, it's like another size. I go up a size. And right now, I am about 6.5 pounds over my normal weight, and that is more than one size. So my oversized winter stuff feels tight on me, which is an absolute no freaking way is that okay, kind of like no pass. And it's just making me mad. I am so like angry. And the good news about this is that I just don't want to eat. The bad news about this is that I don't have the self-discipline right now, and I'm surrounded by people who don't eat the way I do or the way that I want to. And so I've committed to this year, I want to get back to my food standards. Here's the challenge that I just recognized though today. I can't really go out to eat anymore because I only eat organic food, which already limits the number of restaurants I can go to. So here's the end of what I was saying before. I used to eat at home a lot because I was pretty broke. And I really invested in very, very good, high quality organic food for me at home. Then I started to make a little bit of money and started to eat out more often. And so the places that I would eat were very expensive, because very expensive places were the places where you could get high quality ingredients in your food. So it wasn't like I would just go out anywhere. Like, I was incredibly picky. But then I think somewhere along the way, expensive became synonymous with quality. And I stopped questioning where places were sourcing their ingredients from. And because I've just assumed, I've kind of lumped in a number of restaurants into my usual go-tos that may or may not be organic. And when I say organic, I just mean like animals that didn't suffer and produce that was grown naturally. without the help of a whole bunch of stuff in the soil. So, like, really unadulterated in every way, shape, and form. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to meet a friend for brunch, and I chose the restaurant. And I chose the restaurant because it is a restaurant that has a good menu, and their flavors are great. Their food is good. Is it someplace that sources food and ingredients the way I want them to? I don't think so. And when I look at the menu, I think, okay, well, I'm not eating their eggs, but if I'm not having their eggs, then I'm going for French toast. Well, I don't eat carbs anymore, and I certainly don't eat carbs and sugar, and I certainly don't need French toast. That is the last thing that I should be eating right now in my super fat, puffy winter condition. So what am I gonna have? A salad? Then why are we going out for brunch? Because as I recognize now, if I'm having vegetables, even though that's great from a roughage standpoint, it goes right back to that question of which is worse to put in my body. Non-organic produce that is covered in GMO pesticides, or meat that has been raised in terrible conditions with tons of antibiotics and hormones. What? Why am I even going out? Why am I going out? I should probably just tell my friend to come here and I will make us brunch. But I don't want to do that. So I thought to myself, well, if you're going to kind of kill your diet and not eat the way you want to eat, well, then you may as well just jump off the edge of the diving board and into the deep end and just get the donut and a cup of decaf coffee. Because, we all know that decaf coffee is made in basically formaldehyde, unless it's super, super high quality stuff. So, why not just go for the super sugary, carby, caffeine formaldehyde? Like, I could just sit there and order a tea and not eat anything, but then why am I going to brunch? And if I suggest a place that is actually within my food standards, then we're either going to go to a super, super, super expensive bougie place, or we're going to basically go to a vegan cafe. And I don't. No. I don't want to do that to my friends. And I mean, I'd be very happy to just go to the place that has smoothies downtown. But you know what? I was in there just a couple days ago and I noticed that they have Skippy peanut butter on their shelf. What the F do they have Skippy peanut butter for? Unless they're giving it to a dog. And I don't even think they should be giving it to a dog. And I hope that's not what they're putting in their smoothies. So I understand everyone is really, really tight right now in terms of the cost of food. And I pray to God that the government is able to turn around the way that factory farming has ruined and run our lives. And maybe they will. Maybe this is the start of the tipping point of corporations not being able to run our government. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what the future is going to hold. But I just know that there are a few things that cannot exist. And that is me with this extra 5 pounds of winter weight on me getting angry because it's cold out, and me not being able to eat out at a restaurant because I have to choose between Monsanto and Big Pharma.